I'm your cult boyfriend. Today, we're going to be reacting to a video from WatchMojo UK, top 10 skins moments. I love skins. Oh my god. I think that Gossip Girl and Skins are the two greatest teen dramas ever. And I think that teen drama is the greatest form of art ever. That's my favorite shit, man. Skins just blew my mind. And I don't want to be done talking about it. So I want to talk about it some more. And I feel like this video will give me just that opportunity. I've done this sort of thing before. I know I've reacted to Miss Mojo videos about Dawson's Creek and One Tree Hill and Gilmore Girls and maybe a few other ones. I don't really remember, but it's been a while. Let's see if we can still get some good insight out of this. Normally, these things spark good conversations or good discourse. So at least for me, at least when I'm watching it, I'm like, oh yeah, it brings to mind all of these things. I'm sure that my favorite skins moments will be for different reasons than the ones that are posited by Watch Mojo, but still, regardless, I don't really care. I just want to talk about skins some more. What are my top 10 skins moments? Well, there's big moments, right? Like I still haven't been able to get Cook at the end of series 4 attacking Foster, attacking the therapist. I can't get that out of my head. I can't get that out of my mind at all because I view it as Cook killing the narrative itself. This agent of chaos, this character that couldn't be controlled by the narrative itself, realizing in the final moments of the season that he is a character within a television show, and he just kills the show, kills the narrative, and then cut to black because it has to, because he killed the narrative. Cut to black. No more season 4, no more Gen 2. I still can't get Cook out of my head. Other moments I think are smaller. I love a lot of Effie moments. Effie was really good for kind of iconic, legendary moments from the show. But in season 2, in her primary episode where she looks into the camera at the end after sorting out her brother's fucking soap opera, that's like the first kind of example that we get of a skins character realizing that they can interact with the melodrama, with the framework of the show itself, and fix it, solve it, rearrange it, reinvent it. It was her art project for that episode, was fixing her brother's soap opera, and she in turn fixed the television show Skins. And at the very end, she looks at us and gives a nice demure grin, a smile that just broke the fourth wall in the most nihilistic way possible, but also in such a sweet way that I just loved, like a small moment like that. Or if we go back to season 1, the darkest moment of the whole show for me will forever be when she overdosed and Tony goes to rescue her, goes down to the abyss to rescue her, goes down to the underworld, which is interesting because in Tony's episode from series 2, Effie is reading the story of Orpheus to him about a man who goes to the underworld to save the purest and sweetest woman of his life. We kind of saw that, I guess, foreshadowed, or at least the Orpheus theme kind of foreshadowed way back in series 1, where Tony goes down to the underworld, which is like this haunted house, ecstasy fueled club, decadent, debauched party. And Effie's passed out there, and Josh says that you can call an ambulance. I'll let you both go. If you fuck your sister, you have to fuck your sister right now. While she's passed, it's ridiculous. It's crazy. It was so intense. There are a lot of great moments of this show. I love. Oh, I mean, it might go super intense, right? This list might be very intense. So we might get like Freddy's death. We might get Chris's death. We might get a lot of the more intense moments, a lot of the flashier moments. I would definitely think that Cook killing Foster should be on this list, and also Effie overdosing should be on this list. But maybe the smaller moments won't. I like the little nods to the camera. Really, I like the smaller moments with characters, specifically Effie and Cook. They seem to really just have those moments that just burn a hole in my head. Cook in his first central episode of series 3, walking down the street singing that Scallywag song. I was born into a country. baptized to our religion, so don't preach to me. It's the stuff that plays with the framework of the show itself in postmodern ways with nihilistic qualities that seem to just stay with me forever. So, like Cook singing that punk song walking down the street, it is an amplification of his ethos and like chaos itself, of punk itself, of this postmodern time bomb, this ball of mania walking down the street. I mean, it's both real and unreal. It's really cool. I'm gonna stop blabbering away here so we can finally get to the video.
It was the series that defined a generation. Welcome to WatchMojo UK.
And I was a latecomer to Skins. Like, I just watched it for the first time. You know, I was late. I'm kind of glad I was late to it. I might have been, I don't know. I don't think I would have been ready for it younger. I would have been maybe too cynical about it, too cynical for even Skins. But man, the cool thing, right, about covering Skins is I like to talk about what I do with friends in real life and stuff. And the people who like are really excited that I'm watching Skins for the first time. It is so much fun because I could see Effie Stoneham in them, and they're like late 20s, early 30s by this point. I can see that Effie Stoneham was a huge influence on their upbringing, for better or for worse, right? Like this show could I think, could be a bad influence, but I don't give a fuck. Who cares? I see Effie Stoneham in so many of my friends, especially the girls now that I've watched it. I think that's so interesting to me. Like unmistakably Effie Stoneham. Like it's still there. Like the stuff that you interact with in your teenage years, it stays with you in a very large way. You know, we can try to pretend that we've grown up from it, but we'll forever keep something intrinsically rebellious within us, or else we'll just cave in to just the boredom of the world.
And today we're counting down our picks for the top 10 Skins moments. Before we begin, if you enjoyed this video, be sure to subscribe for more great content.
Okay.
For this list, we've gathered the greatest Skins scenes and those moments that made us laugh, cry.
Fucking love Chris, man. I think my favorite Skins characters are Cook, Effie, Tony, Cassie, Chris. Maybe not in that order, but it will always be. Those are my top 5.
And want to run a riot.
Take them all! Take them all!
Number 10, Sid breaks down.
Sorry, the user has blocked your call.
Idiot. Oh, with his dad. Shit. This was so fucking hard, bro.
By season 2, Sid's a lost soul, and Tony has plenty of his own issues to worry over. But when Sid wakes to find his dad has died in his armchair, it all gets too much.
What? I prefer Sid getting into that physical altercation, like getting physical with Tony, and actually calling Tony out for the operating sociopath that he is. You know, actually saying like, you just do this shit because you're an awful fucking person. I prefer that. I think that's in series 1. I prefer that way more than this. I mean, this was harsh. This was really harsh, you know, and it is a beautiful moment. It's at number 10. Who knows? I won't be too critical of it yet.
After keeping the death a secret at college, he eventually breaks down with Tony at a Crystal Castles gig.
Fuck yeah, Crystal Castles. Hell yeah.
Sid and Tony eventually revisit the body.
Okay, they're right. Actually, this was really good for Sid and Tony's development as friends. Like Tony was basically, I mean, that's another moment, right? Tony getting hit by the bus, but Tony was lobotomized by meaning itself at the end of the first series, and spent all of season 2 getting back to where he was, right? Getting back to that kind of healthy arc that he was gradually working towards within the first season that was unfairly robbed and taken from him. And this was a really important scene to see how he consoles his friend to the best of his limited abilities.
Lighting up one of Sid's dad's cigarettes. for a scene steeped in drama and a moment of pure poignancy.
He was so happy.
Yeah.
Mum. Oh, Christ.
Number 9, the Ace of Spades.
The game is on, Freddie. You
Oh,
want to play?
It didn't take long for James
bro, anything with Cook. I'm down.
to introduce himself, did it? The first episode of season 3 sees him rattle through Effie's banned in school checklist with apparent ease and with little help from
It's so cool because that I called it in my analysis videos. And this may be the first Skins videos you've seen of mine. It's probably not the best first video to watch of mine. When it comes to Skins content, I've covered every season of Skins, and I lost myself within the analysis videos. I thought it was so much fun and so rewarding, and I learned so much about art, about me, I think about other people as well. Skins was so fabulous. Please watch my original analysis videos. You can easily find them all on my channel. But I said in my series 3 analysis video that what Effie does is she gives these bonehead boys like a ready-made arc, like a spreadsheet, like a checklist of like how to complete an arc. And she also wants to see who is on her twisted nihilistic level. And of course, it's fucking Cook.
Sid.
Someone's left their shit in here.
But episode 2 sees Cook
Yeah. Oh, and if I go back to that, I always thought that was interesting
with
too.
apparent ease and with little help from Sid.
The kind of teenage hieroglyphics that Gen 2 kind of comes in contact with from the Gen 1 cast. You know, teenage hieroglyphics like graffiti on the locker there, or Cook ends up staying in what must have been Chris's old room, and you see Chris's scrawls on the wall, right? Like Chris was here, some shit with like a fish on it, you know, the drawing of a fish. But it's kind of telling us how to read certain scenes, right? It's kind of telling us who to associate with which character, how to interpret which scenes, you know, moods and all sorts of stuff.
Someone's left their shit in here.
But episode 2 sees Cook truly make his arrival, swigging spirits in the streets on his way to the pub to celebrate his 17th
Oh
birthday.
shit. The Ace of Spades. What? Since when was it Ace of Spades? Wait, which one was he singing originally? Don't Preach to Me is much better. Wow, I didn't even know this. Apparently, I think the original song was the Ace of Spades. Wait, you're telling me that they just synced up the Ace of Spades to Don't Preach to Me?
17th birthday.
What? I way prefer Don't Preach to Me. That is weird. I didn't know that. What? Is this how it was originally?
If you let me get full, I'll tell you I'm your man. You win some, lose some, it's all the same to me. The pleasure is to play. It makes no difference what you say.
What?
I don't share agree. The only card I need is the Ace of Spades. The Ace of Spades.
Hold on, bro.
5 o'clock, maybe hasn't even started yet. Sorry. Actually, no.
What? That's ridiculous. No one ever told me this. This is so much groovier, though.
I was born into a country, baptized to our religion. Now I'm tied to precision. This was not my decision. Did not get my permission.
It syncs up like two per. What are you talking about? What are you talking about? What? I mean, dude, I so prefer Don't Preach to Me. It says so much more about Cook's character. It talks about the ethos of his character with it's more articulated, but still Ace of Spades is like a chaotic anthem. And right, there's no other god I need but the Ace of Spades, you know, Don't Preach to Me. They're remarkably similar, but that Scallywag song is too fucking good. It's so groovy and it gives Cook this more punk rock feel than Motorhead. You know, I don't know. I like Cooks. I like Don't Preach to Me a lot more. But technically, this is one of my moments. Sorry for making this video so long. I'll try to be faster on other moments. This is just mind blowing.
Sorry. Actually, no. Not sorry.
And what better soundtrack than Motorhead? He doesn't do things by
Scallywags.
halves, this lad.
You win some, lose some, it's all the same to me.
Number 8, Emily Comes Out.
I just spent an hour downstairs trying to convince Mum that you made it all up. That's great. Because you have.
I liked Emily. I liked Emily a lot. But my analysis focused pretty intimately, intensely, and only on Cook, Effie, and Freddie. They steal the show. They do the most interesting things philosophically, compositionally, emotionally. And yeah, they definitely overshadowed the rest, especially Cook and Effie. No one else was on their level. Freddie did some very interesting things in Series 4, but it was all Cook and Effie for Gen 3. Like, they make Gen 3... my thing is, Gen 1 is a perfect cast. Gen 1 are perfect characters, perfectly interacting with each other. For all intents and purposes, it's a perfect generation. Gen 2, there are some flaws. It's pretty unbalanced. But while Gen 1 is better, I think that Gen 2 is way more interesting. I could talk about Gen 2 for hours and hours and hours and hours and hours on end. Maybe I could never be done talking about Gen 2. There's too much to say about Gen 2.
What? You've just conjured up this thing with Naomi because...
And too much to say specifically about Cook, Effie, and Freddie.
I don't know.
But Emily's
Maybe you're
cool.
jealous of me.
The tension between the twins, Katie and Emily, is a running theme throughout season 3 and 4. But here's where it boils over.
So tell me. It wasn't a boy.
There, see? So let's
It was
just...
a girl.
With Katie refusing to accept Emily's relationship with Naomi, even when her sister tries to explain it to her family, the pair come to blows at the school dance. While a jeering crowd watches on, Emily stops herself moments before delivering a knockout shot, and they appear to reconcile after an emotional and exhausted speech.
I like girls. No. I like a girl.
It is a good moment, you know. It's not better than Ace of Spades or Scallywags, though.
No.
Sorry, that's still fucking with me.
I love her.
This was good, though.
Number 7, it's got to get bad before it gets good.
I want it good now. I just gotta get bad before it gets
Fucking
good.
Maxie.
What you say, just gotta get
I love
bad
Maxie.
before it gets good.
I've seen people accuse Maxie of being the perfect gay trope. The perfect gay trope. Like, did you watch the same show I did? With the kid with the same insecurities, hangups, and like covert narcissism that I did? Like, Maxie had his share of problems and flaws. He wasn't perfect. He may have been perfect looking, but he was not perfect. He looked angelic, but look at his surroundings. Look at the atmosphere. You have to look deeper into these characters. Yeah, I got kind of triggered when someone called Maxie a perfect gay trope, like the flawless gay kid. Like, how? No, he's not. He's not. You're projecting.
See, stick with me.
At the launch of season 2, things are a little bleak following Tony's accident, and in this musical montage, we see Maxie dance his way across a rooftop, while everyone
It's
else
really
comes to terms
good.
with
Yeah,
the events
it's
of
good.
last series.
Put your feet,
This is a good moment.
then wait patiently.
But like, just follow the weird metaphorical language that I just laid down. Like, Maxie is an angel to Tony at this point, and he's dancing above him on the roof while he tries to scribble his own name legibly. And an angel is just dancing above him. Of course, like a tattered angel, like a ruined angel, a spoiled angel, a sinful angel, but still an angel regardless. You know, maybe that's where the perfect gay trope gets confused, because he's not perfect. The whole thing about Maxie with the kind of angel qualities that I'm describing here is that he's imperfect. I love that. It's so poetic to me.
There's Tony struggling to write his own name, Michelle breaking down in the shower, and Sid pondering his friend's stretch in hospital. All in, it's a powerful season opener which proved that Skins wasn't a one-hit
poster
wonder, and
behind
that the
him,
characters'
dude.
stories were very far from over. Number 6, Sid Goes to New York.
So, 3 of us in the car.
The most exciting thing about the way Gen 1 ended was how Gen 3 began with like the last thing we see in series 2 is Effie lying in Tony's bed, much the same way that that Gen 1 started, with Tony lying in bed just staring vacantly like up. Effie's staring at us and gives us another smile, but this one's a bit more mischievous because it's like, it's my turn now, my show. See you next season. Like, that to me is the best part of the finale. The rest, it's a nice, rewarding bow that is placed upon these narratives. And yeah, this part's fine, but wouldn't make my list.
Together again. Yeah. We've all seen each other naked, which is nice.
To one of our final moments with the original cast and an emotional parting of ways for Sid and Tony. They're stood outside the airport with Tony having just booked Sid on a flight to New York so that he can finally follow Cassie.
This is it. Right.
It's a little awkward and neither of them says a lot, but they don't have to. Tony's final words to Sid are some of the most memorable lines in the entire...
They tell him like to take the hat off, and then the first scene in New York, we see him with the hat back on. Tony was right. I would listen to glow up advice from Tony personally, Sid.
A series, signaling the end of an era.
Get rid of the hat.
Yeah.
It makes you look retarded.
Number 5, Effie's overdose.
Yes. Oh, yes. I always viewed Effie's overdose as Tony being the most nihilistic character of Skins, and basically the show itself saying, you want nihilism? Well, we'll show you a glimpse of the abyss and you won't be able to handle it. And he could not handle it. It broke his brain. And he was consumed by pure meaning at that point. This sociopathic teenage psychopath was consumed by pure meaning and seemed to have been punished, maybe even in a karmic way, by getting hit by a fucking bus in the very next episode and becoming lobotomized by meaning itself. Like, there's so much here. And also, it was the first time we really spent time with Effie and we're offered this bird's eye view of hedonism, of nihilism, and it's just so disturbing to me. This is the most disturbing Skins has ever been, because this house party looks like it's like a haunted house, haunted mansion. It's nightmarish to me in such a 2007 way, which actually strikes my millennial heart to the core, breaks it in a lot of different places. Wow, this one give me philosophical nightmares for a long time, actually.
Point for Tony, who, having manipulated the breakup between Josh and Michelle, finds himself on the wrong end of a twisted revenge mission.
I'm looking for my sister. Oh, she's over there.
Searching for Effie, Tony finds his sister has overdosed at a rave and tries to get help, but Josh stands in his way and an intense confrontation follows.
Oh,
Is this about Michelle?
Intense is an understatement.
Please, I'm so sorry. I can't get one out. I can't. I keep going soft.
But just when the situation seems hopeless, the ever-faithful Sid shows up with a ride to A&E.
Tony?
What? So fucking WatchMojo UK is gonna pussy out and not say Josh was gonna force him to perform intercourse with his sister. I, of course, love the triangle. That's another huge moment, right? When Freddy goes over to Effie's house after they had that wonderful kiss at the lake, and Effie's standing by the window, and then Cook comes out, and they both like stare down at him as if they're like the king and queen of nihilism, staring down at the peasant, the more basic archetype, the more basic teen character, like lording their sex over him. It's wild and it's crazy. Like, that should have been here. I love the triangle. Effie, Cook, Freddy. I like Cassie and Sid. I like Rich and Grace, and I do like Naomi and Emily, but but 2 spots on the top 10 best moments is a bit much. If I had a favorite Naomi moment, it is with Cook, and it's in series 4, where she kisses Cook very briefly, and Cook stops it. He shows some surprising self-control and says like something along the lines of, when you swim, people get splashed. And they had such a nice and sweet moment. Naomi really seemed to understand Cook in ways that not a lot of other characters did. I think Effie used Cook the best, but even she lost control of him rather quickly. The show lost control of him entirely and then tried to get rid of him by sending police after him, but he kept escaping punishment. The narrative tried to get rid of him, so then Cook ultimately killed the narrative itself in the form of John Foster, after the narrative decided that Freddy was hindering the plot moving forward.
With you,
So that narrative killed Freddy.
I feel like I'm a better person.
The will they, won't they, Emily and Naomi romance
Will they, won't they? You can't say there's a will they, won't they. That's not will they, won't they. You know they will.
was an ongoing storyline for the second generation, with huge high points and massive lows. But here's where Naomi puts an end to the fighting.
Naomi is one of my favorite Skins characters, though. Like she's a top 10. Like she'd probably be 6 on my list of great Skins characters. Doesn't really crack the top 5, but I love Naomi.
Fusion with a heartfelt explanation to Emily and everyone else.
I loved you from the first time I saw you. I was 12.
We've already seen the issues the relationship raises with Emily's sister, but after this scene, there's no doubt that Naomi.
I didn't want to be.
Post Freddy being dead is the narrative kind of sloppily trying to satisfy and pacify all the other members of this generation so that they don't really question what happened to Freddy. But it's Cook who could not be pacified. They even pacified Freddy's sister. Like everyone in that shed is fine. They're not thinking about Freddy. It's when Cook leaves the shed and looks up at Freddy's window, like drunkenly, and then sees a glimpse of Foster staring at them. And that's like the show staring at the narrative, finishing itself with all the characters behaving nicely in a kind and orderly fashion so that the show can end properly. And then Cook, of course, follows him just based on primal chaotic instinct alone, vengeful instinct even. Doesn't know who he is yet, but he knows he should follow him, and that's how he's figuring out that he's a character on a TV show. I don't take this moment very seriously because I don't think it is very genuine. I mean, I don't doubt the characters' affections for each other, but so far as the show goes, I feel like this is a way to like kind of pacify the rest of the characters and wrap up all these arcs and all these kind of like miniature dramas with a suspiciously nice bow on purpose, a suspiciously nice bow, so that the show can end and the characters won't be like, what happened to Freddy? So thank God for Cook and his unpredictable nature.
Be a slave to the way I feel about you. Can you understand?
Number 3, I'm Katie Fitch.
You know what? Too much of the twins on this list. I like the twins, but there are so many other moments here. So many other moments.
Sweetheart, I've run out of time.
Listen, you want to skip this ad.
I want to
too.
skip ads
But what if I
forever,
told you?
dude.
There's a skip ads for everybody.
It's called fuck
You want me
you.
to run along and go get some more? 1, I'm not your maid. 2, I don't work for you, so you'll have to go and get your own fags, sweetheart.
Another pivotal scene, and this time it's Katie who seems headed in a new direction, as viewers find themselves rooting for the other Fitch twin for once.
For once? I liked her in series 1. I get that she was mean, but there was interiority to her. You just gotta look deeper. Just gotta look a little bit deeper.
First, she finds out that she can't have children.
Catherine, the menopause prevents you from ovulating. Which
She
means
was
you
great.
won't be able to conceive
She was great.
babies.
Maybe she's an underrated character.
Ever.
And then she finds trouble at a club.
I do
but
like
there's
this
only
part.
one winner
But
here.
once again, my favorite part of this episode has to do with Effie, with her running into Effie and Freddy there, and then having a smoke with Effie by that lake or whatever, having that great discussion.
And Katie catches her adversary square in the face before delivering this ever-quotable line.
Who the do you think you are? I'm Katie Fitch. Who the are you?
Okay, now that's making me think of something, huh? Huh? That's something I didn't like put into context there, because what's the best part of this show? Where a character screams his name, screams their name. I gave it away. It's Cook saying, "I'm fucking Cook. I'm fucking Cook." And he says it at the end of 4. He says it at the very end of the show, which, by the way, the end of the show itself, series 7, should be on this list. I viewed that as Cook taking us to the outskirts of the narrative itself, to undeveloped country, to like a place that seems entirely hostile because nothing survives there. Like, we're at the end of the show itself, the entire universe of Skins at the end of series 7. But of course, he says, "I'm fucking Cook." So now I'm drawing a parallel to this here, and I'm kind of working that over in my mind right now, because yeah, "I'm Katie fucking Finch" definitely seems to be echoed by "I'm fucking Cook," right? Because this takes place within the same series of episodes, the same season. That's fucking cool. So like, it's at these moments of clarity. Of course, I don't think Katie's having a moment of clarity where she's realizing she's a fictive character on a television show, but Cook has that sort of feeling about it. But she is coming to the realization that this perfectly crafted little universe of hers is fundamentally flawed and broken, considering that, like, I guess that her own biology, her own anatomy, since she can't have children, since she's barren, she might consider that fundamentally broken. Everything around her is fundamentally flawed and broken and full of lies. So I'm Katie fucking Finch. I'm fucking Cook. That's a cool connection. See, series 4, the more that I think about it, is easily the most interesting season of teen drama ever. That's the most interesting collection of episodes I've ever seen. Something fascinating is happening in every episode, and the meanings are only multiplied the more that you pay attention.
Sure, she ends up getting sacked for the outburst, but it was worth it. Number 2, Chris's funeral.
I've been thinking about what Chris would have wanted me to say today.
I do love this as a celebration of the misfit, and upon further like introspection, I think that sober me acts like Rich, or at least in high school, I acted like Rich. Fucked up me when I was in high school, and also now, when I'm fucked up, I act a lot like Chris. A goofy kind of chaotic element, like a well-intentioned chaotic element. Mania with a smile, right? That's how I am when I'm extremely fucked up. Chris is a huge part of me. Like, I see myself in a lot of Chris, especially like my impulsivity, and my desire. I guess we're getting really personal, but it's Skins. We should get really personal. It should be kind of a therapeutic experience. I have a desire to be loved, and damn, how personal are we gonna get? In high school, my mom abandoned me so that she could hang out with her new alcoholic, junkie, never-ending lineup of boyfriends. So she abandoned me, and soon the house that I was staying in, when it became mine, it just became like a party house. And Chris's central episode in series 1 fucked with me a lot. It never got to that extreme of Chris, but it got pretty fucking close. I share a lot of the same hangups that Chris had, and see a lot of myself in Chris, especially even Chris's death, like the stuff you can't account for. He died of like a brain hemorrhage. He died of some medical bullshit that just interferes with a perfectly good ball of chaos, right? Perfectly good momentum, perfectly good love. I forgot to mention earlier, but Chris and Zhao, that actually might be my number 1 favorite relationship on the show. I just can't analyze it too deeply, but I think that they're so sweet and so perfect together. And I love that Chris's final words are remembering Zhao's name. Zhao. What's her name? Zhao. So fucking, dude, heartbreaking, man. I just connected so hard with that character. Upon further introspection, counsel with myself, I've realized that I related to him so much, because I went through similar things, and I act just like that fucking goofy renegade kid when I'm really drunk, when I'm really fucked up on pills. I love Chris. And this here, his funeral being the ultimate celebration of the misfit, I think is a great statement for Skins to make at the end of Gen 1.
The advice you'd give me.
A send-off for Chris, but also serving as one of the last times we see the first generation together. Today's
Sure.
runner-up is a real tearjerker.
Minus Cassie, because he died in Cassie's arms. And then, oh my God, Cassie's episode of Series 2. Wow. Whoa. Watch my Season 2 analysis video. I can't go into it here because I'd be here for an extra 20 minutes. But my God, I love the dream logic that's used in Skins, especially in the second season. The second season and the final season are primarily fueled by a kind of obscure, esoteric, abstract dream logic.
The gang are banned from attending the funeral, but that doesn't stop them, and Tony and Sid promptly steal Chris's coffin,
Yeah,
taking
they
it for a
do.
spin through Bristol.
Shit. It's him! It's him! We're under control.
And when it's time for the actual service, they watch from a hilltop with an alternative eulogy, and fireworks to boot.
Because the thing about Chris was, he said yes. He said yes to everything. He loved everyone.
It's what Chris would have wanted.
I love everyone when I'm fucked up and I regret
Number one,
it in the
Tony's
morning.
accident.
We don't get a honorable mentions list. Tony's accident number 1, perfectly fine. Perfectly fine. Where's Cook attacking Foster? Where's a single Gen 3 moment? I know that maybe that's why I had to have an honorable mention. At least Gen 3 moment you could put, like, you know, Grace dying, or Grace's spirit like making peace ultimately with the entire ensemble. I get that Gen 3 aren't as good as Gen 1 or 2, and I'm not here to say that they are, but to act like they don't exist, I think is foolish. Also, there should have been some sort of Cassie representation here. Also, Effie did so many interesting things. Swap out one of the fucking twins. We saw the twins here like 3 times, you know. Saw Emily and Naomi, saw fucking Katie. Like, we didn't need 3 different Finch stories on here. We really did not. Hell, we just brought up Chris. I mean, his death is extremely memorable, and I also love him drinking his goldfish. You can ponder that fucking meaning forever as well, bro. Oh God. And Sid Breaks Down, I don't think is up there. Ace of Spades, or as I call it, Don't Preach to Me, should definitely be here. Emily Comes Out, I don't think we need it. I like the idea of Maxie dancing on the roof is memorable. I like that. That's fine. Sid Goes to New York. No, you should either get to choose Sid Goes to New York or The Funeral. If you're talking about like a great way to wrap up Gen 1. How about the way that Gen 2 was wrapped up? Not so nice, actually, really messy and unforgettable. Goddamn, come on. You got I'm Katie fucking Finch, but I'm fucking Cook. Like, fuck you, dude. That's not, and I mean playfully, fuck you, Skins. Watch Mojo UK. I'm saying that playfully. This is a fun video you've worked out, and it's allowed me to talk about really cool stuff.
Honey, Tony.
Joe?
What?
Having made the first steps toward changing for the better, Tony looked to be ending the first series on a high, but then everything changed in an instant. He's partway through declaring his love for Michelle when his hunt for good phone signal becomes a life-changing accident.
The truth is, I love you.
Ending on a monumental cliffhanger, the show then takes a bold but...
Hell, Effie holding his head in the street. How about Effie, like, remembering everything that happened at the end of Series 4? Hell, Freddy's death. Do people really hate Series 4 or Season 4 that much? That much? I think the most brilliant parts of the show actually happened, or at least the most interesting parts of the show, the most endlessly mysterious parts of the show happened in Season 4. About Effie getting all of her memories back with Cook at the site of this accident, I think is even more fascinating than the accident itself. I think that the consequences of it, like the narrative consequences of it, the fact that it's the thing that fucks Effie up the most when she sees how a character could be so viciously, cruelly, and pointlessly punished. which makes her try to invent her soap opera in very specific ways that kind of prevent this one from happening.
Brilliant artistic deviation, with Sid leading a rendition of Cat Stevens' Wild World.
I still don't like the Wild World part. It's a bit silly. And that really hit number one.
World.
Now that I've lost everything to you, you say you want to start something new.
Like, it's cool. It's just I don't get a lot from it personally. Like, I get that it's talking about, you know, the performative aspects of being, how it's performance to the point where it's almost like the musicality of real life is absurd in nature. But that's I don't, dude. It fell a little flat for me, especially when Tony starts singing it, and you don't even know if he's alive or dead yet.
What a finish!
That's a cool shot. I like the concept of Sid doing this.
Do you agree with our picks?
Kind of 50-50 on your list, to be honest. Hey, I think we had fun. I think we reached. I found out new things, especially about Ace of Spades. Made the connection between I'm Katie fucking Finch and I'm fucking Cook. I feel like there is something there for sure. I got to wax poetic about Cook, Effie, Chris for a long time again. I got to share some personal things with you that I didn't share in the videos, the analysis videos. So I think there's value in this video. Hopefully you enjoyed watching it with me. What are some of your like favorite moments that weren't here that even I didn't mention? You know, there are a lot of great little moments, just this little pieces. Like hell, just the image of Tony and that mystery brunette just floating in the pool at that college through that dream episode of Tony's, that trip episode is so fucking good. You know, there's so many little moments that make Skins unforgettable. Those tiny moments that just make themselves a home inside of your brain, and you can't stop. You see it when you close your eyes. You see these moments when you close your eyes. It's a really powerful show. It's one of the greatest works of art I've ever seen. Just to repeat myself from the very beginning, Gossip Girl and Skins UK, the two greatest teen dramas ever, no contest. No show comes truly close to matching those two. Interestingly enough, they started in the same year, 2007. There was something great about television in 2007, both in the States and overseas. So that's great. And abroad. I've never been to England. I would like to go to England one day. I think I vibe with the culture. It, to be honest, doesn't seem like too different from the culture here, but also it's one of those things where it seems like remarkably like intimate and familiar, but also impossibly alien and foreign at the same time. Like it's a weird kind of dichotomy. But I'd like to visit England. That'd be nice. I've only been abroad once. I went to Italy and Greece, which was really cool. But you know, that's it. That's it. What am I talking about at this point? We're just having a chat now. We're just fucking chatting it up. How have you guys been? Thinking of maybe changing these posters here eventually. I can't change Buffy because it's like glued to the wall. It's gonna be there for the new people who move into this apartment. But maybe get something else there. Maybe it's finally time to move House on Haunted Hill down. You know, if I could get a Skins poster, that'd be perfect. I could be surrounded by Skins, and I don't know what I'm feeling for that one. Want to do like a fun horror one from the 90s or 2000s. I haven't really decided, but I'd like to get a Skins poster there for sure. That'd be nice. Maybe get the Bridge on the River Kwai off of it. It clashes at this point, but I love that film. If you haven't watched it, it's beautiful. Maybe just move Veronica Mars over. That's who that is. That's Veronica Mars. This is, people have asked. This is a really bad Gossip Girl. Oh, it doesn't look too bad on the camera, but it's like some oddly cheap canvas. I think it's an Etsy purchase, but That's what that is. People ask, like, yo, who's the, and respectfully, they normally ask, like, who's the random hottie in the back? Because it's normally like that, and you can see Leighton Meester's Blair Waldorf in the corner. It's Blair Waldorf. There we go. That's as much of a room tour as you'll ever get. Once again, I hope you enjoyed this video. Yeah. I had a great deal of fun doing that. I haven't done a reaction video in quite some time, but I think my reaction videos are like full of substance. Hell, that was an 8-9 minute video at most, and I've spent a very long time comparatively in my reaction. So yeah, I just hope you enjoyed it. Thank you for watching.